you one example as to some collapsed previous civilization on the planet Earth. I'll just use Easter Island as an example. I'm sure that most of you have seen photos of these big, tall statues. There are actually about 900 of them. Some are about 15 feet high, some are about 70 feet high. A 70 feet high statue is about 8 stories high, weighing about 900 tons. And to transport these by human power, because they've got no wheels, they've got no, they require a lot of timber. Now, Easter Island was the last island to be colonized by the Polynesian expansion, starting 1200 years BC, and by about 900 AD, they finally reached Easter Island. Now, if you go and visit Easter Island today, it is completely denuded of trees. There is not a single plant on Easter Island that is taller than 10 feet high. When the Polynesians first hit Easter Island, it had at least 20 species of trees, including a giant palm whose trunk measures 7 feet in diameter. There was no palm tree bigger than that, and they used these palm trees to construct ocean-going canoes by which they go out to the open sea to fish, pelagic fish, dolphins, etc. And but because they need this timber to build sleds to transport all these huge statues, and because they also use timber to for various kinds of purposes, including well, I can't find it now. We'll tap into my limited memory here, including cremation. Now, this is a dead people destroying living people. So, after about 300 or 400 years, all the trees have been cut down, not a single tree remained, and because of that, soil erosion occurred, decreasing the fertility of the land. And because by then, the human population, due to a previous fertility, had grown to about 30,000 people, and all of a sudden, the fertility has decreased to the level when they could only support about 2,000 or 3,000 people. So what happened to these people? They turned to, well, they suffered starvation first, but to remedy starvation, they turned to cannibalism. There were about 12 tribes that began to fight one another for human flesh. One of the most common insulting statements is, "May your mother's flesh get stuck between my teeth." Anyway, Easter Island is an isolated island in an open ocean. The parallel is that the Earth is an isolated island in space. We've got nowhere to turn to. If we wipe out our own ecosystems, that is the fate that we're going for. Now, there are other factors too. For example, in the Pitcairn group, there were 3 islands: Pitcairn, Henderson, and another one. And their situation is a little bit more complex. The 3 islands have different kinds of resources, and they mutually depended on one another to sustain the entire 3-island group. But one island collapsing destroyed all 3. Today, the Pitcairn Islands, and Pitcairn Island and Henderson Island was devoid of human beings. Pitcairn was devoid of human beings by the time the mutiny of the Mountie, of the Bounty. I wish there was a mutiny in the Mountie, the Canadian mounted police. But there was nobody there. Everybody was dead. The Anasazi in Arizona was the same thing originally. It was quite fertile, and because they overused the land, it became desert. The entire civilization was wiped out. The Maya was the same thing. They built those huge pyramids. And Paul will say that the Earth's human supporting limit would be about 1 billion people, not 6 or 7 billion. And I would go further to say that as the Earth's fertility declines from day to day, it will support less and less people. So what's going to happen to the 6 or 7 billion people when the Earth can only support 1 billion people? Cannibalism? So finally, I would like to say this. Let's pretend that this room is a pond, and let's suppose that there's a species of algae that can destroy the pond's fish if it covers the entire pond. And also, let's suppose that the algae can double itself once every day. And let's suppose, finally, somebody carelessly dropped one of these algae cells into this pond, and let's also suppose that the algae covers 1/8 of the pond after 1 year. The question is, how much more time do the fish have in this pond? 1/8 becomes a quarter becomes a half becomes a whole. 3 more days, and that's it. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we are in the last 3 days of Earth. I don't know whether it's day 1, day 2, or day 3. But we still have time, I believe, to save the Earth's ecosystem if we hustle, pay heed to global warming, pay heed to human population explosion and growth, and we might have a chance. If not, we may as well kiss our babies goodbye. And this work belongs to our babies and belongs to the animals that have nothing to do with the guilt of human action. We are responsible, and we must find a solution, and believe that we have the solution. We need the will. We have the technology. Technology actually drove misuse of technology actually drove the Earth's ecosystem to this point. And we may need a wise use of technology to bring the Earth back. But technology basically is not the final solution. The final solution is in our hearts. We must care for the Earth, care for our babies, and care for the animals, and save the Earth with whatever we have, whatever we can, and we have that capability. Thank you.